Hey everyone, Kevin here. While I am out and about getting my hair cut or going to the store, I often run into so many different kinds of people. And occasionally I even encounter a former student or parent from my time in education. What these experiences and interactions do, though, is remind me how much I have grown and changed over the years. But I still often receive the question, could you ever see yourself being a teacher again? Now, I know that for people who really don't understand what the school system is like now, they mean nothing bad by this question, or all of the wonderful students that miss my insights and life lessons who are genuinely struggling at school ask this because they just want me back. But let me begin to answer that question by saying that I miss my kids. I really do. There are few days that go by where I don't think of the thousands of lives I made a difference in, the connections and relationships I formed, and wonder where they all are now. It makes me misty eyed sometimes. I went into education expecting it to be my forever career. I had a calling to serve our next generations and open their minds to the world around them. I never saw myself doing anything else. But as much as it still pains me to say it, I don't have that calling anymore. I, as most did, went into teaching with a somewhat rose colored glasses view of education and the kind of impact that I could realistically have in the long term because we only ever saw the profession from the perspective of the students because that's all we had been. We didn't see the societal and administrative disrespect, the paperwork, the politics, and the long hours without pay. All we saw was a few teachers fighting the good fight and providing a meaningful education to their students. And we wanted to do the same thing. I am sure everyone listening, and especially the teachers who are, had a teacher they still remember who inspired them to be a better person and helped them to figure out the career path they want to take. I still remember my first year of teaching. I had a senior named Vivian who I spent many hours with, helping her narrow down her college selections and getting her prepared for the next pivotal chapter of her life. I remember how rewarding that was, and the joy I felt at helping her through all of those deep anxieties she was dealing with as her secondary school career wound down and she was about to walk into the real world. I have no idea where Vivian is now, but I know that wherever she is, I helped her get there. I miss that, but I don't miss it enough to go back. As time went on and my ability to create those kinds of stories diminished, my light and passion faded too. I was so bogged down with standardized testing expectations, paperwork, politics, constantly having to defend myself from attacks by both my administrators and sometimes students, that I couldn't be the teacher I wanted to be anymore. I was and am not on board with where education is going. And I have made peace with the fact that I don't belong in an environment that uses me and my passion instead of stimulating and growing those passions. All of this reminds me of a Greek proverb I have always enjoyed. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. This is the role of a teacher for sure. The trees I planted were my students, and even though I know so little about where they ended up, I know that they will grow into who they were meant to be as a result of what I did for them in the classroom. Knowing that has allowed me to move on from a career that, though rewarding on the one hand, was more mentally, physically, and emotionally draining than I could handle on the other. I needed more out of my life than what the life of a teacher could provide for me. So, to answer the question I get asked by all those people who just don't understand what it's like in education now, could I ever see being a teacher again? The answer is no. I wish I could be, and I wish the system was different, but it isn't. And because of that, there is no longer a place for me there in education. I'm happier now. And though I miss being there for my kids, and yes, I will always call them that, I am more valued and respected in my new career than I ever was as a teacher. That's a sad thing to say, but it's the truth. At a certain point, one side of that conflict will inevitably give way, and that was the job itself for me. I couldn't do it anymore, and I can't see myself ever doing it again. And as always, I am here to help you process these same kinds of difficult feelings if you're having them and are feeling lost. See you next time.